Hello everyone, this is our very first Ask Me Anything. Once again I'm talking to myself, which is still a little bit weird. I'll give everyone a moment to join in. We might be about a minute early. I've got a couple of questions, which is wonderful. I have James here, who will pop around in a minute, who's going to watch the questions as they come in. Do you want to come around, dear?
Yes.
You'll hear him in the background as he reads them off to me, or any comments, so I don't have to sort of stare at the screen really fast, really close. Come in. Get to look at yourself.
Oh, I am burned. Spent the day at an air show, and yes, not good. Anyway, I'll be moderating and reading off your questions and the like, and helping with the Ask Me Anything as best I can. General go for it. If Tennille needs a nappy and the like, then I'll go and get it for her.
Oh, awesome.
All right.
All right. How are we going? 7:01. We'll get started. I think like all you guys, you're probably putting kids down to sleep. Ours have just gone down. We just did the last check for the night. One of the questions we had was trying to find a cover for pre-folds and flat nappies. That can be a little bit tricky, particularly if you're looking at one size nappies. So I'll pull some of this out of the warehouse. So you've got, hello Amy and hello Sarah, welcome. I've got an audience now. Yes, okay. So you got the Grovire. So what I want you to look at is the groin, and why it's sometimes hard to use these one size covers for your flats and pre-folds, okay? This is a baby bear, which might be easier to show you on this one. That's the groin. Now this is a newborn. Hi Amy. A newborn bummer's cover, and if you look at the groin on the newborn, it's about the same width. Okay, so sometimes using a one size cover for flats and pre-folds, you don't have quite the room at the bottom of the nappy. Alright, I have a small here as well, and you can see how it goes up in size. When you use flats and pre-folds, there's just a little bit more material. It's not nicely contoured. So everyone's been talking about baby bears a little bit this week. You can see the insert is contoured to fit inside, okay, which makes it really trim for those one size nappies. If you grab a pre-fold, particularly a one size pre-fold, so this is like an infant or a size 2 or 3 in the Grovires. Once you fold it in 4 and you pop it in the cover, you don't have as much room to fit it in. It will still work, you've just got to make sure you tuck it in. Where if you pop it inside one of the Bummies covers, or Bamboo, what else we got? Baby Beehinds, Bubble Bugs, all of those. You can see there's more room on the sides, which allows for some boosting. Someone is saying something about sweet pea.
I used a sweet pea one size last night with pre-folds and was really impressed. Thanks, Sarah.
Awesome, yes. Some one sizes do have a wider groin, and we do find the sweet pea did have a slightly wider groin because that was just a cover. So the what's it called? Seedling baby one size. If James wants to go run off and get me one of them.
Seedling baby one size?
Yeah. Off he goes, looked at me funny to go and find one. That's a little bit wider. So depending on the one size nappy, how their inserts are made. The flat bamboo nappies are a lot trimmer than your old fashioned terry squares. Nope.
The cover.
The cover, but the sorry guys, James is there's the new prints, the Lion and the Explorer and Tea Party, just one of those, not the paddle pants. Sorry guys, this might be part of the video. What was I saying? Oh, so your bamboo pre-fold flats will be thinner. It's still really absorbent, but it's a thinner material compared to your terries. Okay, which will be a bit more bulkier. Have been using Grovire wrong all this time. Sorry, off topic. Oh, Amy, put your question down so we can answer it for you. So, there's your seedling. It's only probably about 1 centimetre or 2, and it's a little bit wider. Okay, so this is its cover. They're one size covers are made to take just a little bit wider in the groin. Now, some people prefer it to be trimmer through the groin. So I know itty bitties are quite trim through the groin. It would be hard to use their one size cover with pre-folds and flats. I think that question is answered. I think that was from Tony.
Yes.
And Tony's just joined us. So sorry, Tony, I think you missed that, but you can go back and listen. You can pop another question down if you like.
Just on the pronunciation, Amy's mentioning the pronunciation of Grovia. I think what I've heard from America is it's North America is Grovia.
Can you hear James? Can someone let me know if you can hear him?
All right. If I get a note to say that you can, then I'll keep going.
We just need to know if you can hear James. He's behind the camera at the moment. Oh, we just got a like. Is that a yes? We can hear.
Excellent. So I think.
Thanks, Sarah.
In North America, I think they pronounce it Grovia because via is their pronunciation of our via. So as far as I can tell, much with muchness. There you go.
We also in Queensland, was that Amy who asked? We have a toll system. It's called Go Via. So every time I go down the highway, I always read Grow Via. So I could be saying it wrong. I'm sure Cassandra, who has the distribution in Australia, will be letting me know a little bit later that I've been saying it wrong, especially when we're at the expos. I do say Grow Via. Yes.
One of the questions, you happy to move on?
Yeah, sure.
One of the questions that was posted to the Cloth Nappy Doctor front page was from Lisa Weatherly, asking about nighttime nappies. The questions about the fit of lead elastics and the like, but it's almost developed into a question regarding the capacity of what is a medium wetter or a light wetter or a heavy wetter, which is absolutely valid. Laura Laslett has up the last comment as I'm reading this. How do you even figure that out, how much baby weighs? How do you know how much baby weighs?
I'd be interested to know. So with Abigail, so James and I had this discussion about 10 minutes before we came on, so we may have a discussion as we go along, and I'm sure Jenny at Baby Bear's on here, and Trudy is also going to pop on as well if they can. They can pop in with some comments. For our daughter Abigail, the volume needs to be known. So my daughter has special needs and she's 10, 11 actually now. Her nappies have a capacity of 600 mils, and that's for a disposable. So they know how much it can hold. So where am I going with this? So the Mother-Ease bedwetter pants, which are for older children, from about 13 kilograms, so that's about 18 months old, roughly. They hold about 600 mils. For little newborns, their bladders are about 30 to 60 mils, I believe. So that's why you've got to change them all the time because they only have a little bladder. The volume overnight depends on your child. So whether you're feeding them over the night, whether they have a bottle before they go to bed, whether they have a bottle. So sometimes the bedtime routine starts at 6 p.m. and then you give them a bottom at 9 p.m. but you don't change their bum, therefore they've got that 200 mils of fluid through them to come out through the night. So it all depends how much fluid's going into them. James has nicked off. Are you coming back?
Yeah, I'm looking for Mother-Ease.
Yeah, I know. It's 600 mils.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Husbands and wives. Gotta love the interaction.
I just raced away. Sorry, people.
So a heavy wetter is a bub who weighs a lot. All the time, Neuron. So I know Trudy had to change her little kissy every hour to 2 hours. Our Daniel at night, we had to change every 2 hours because he just kept weeing. But during the day, he would hold on to it. And then at night, he would let it all go. Hi, Danielle. So heavy wetter is where they out wet the nappy. So average nappy would probably hold 150 mils to about 300 mils in a 2 to 4 hour period. Now it's hard to actually say the nappy is going to do that because it depends on the materials in the nappy and the weight of the materials. So if you look at your different, I always use it to compare it to like a Big W shirt that you buy for $3 compared to your, what's another brand? Rivers? Is that an expensive brand? Country Road. I always look at the store and wish I could buy something. They're $100, but the cotton's really thick. It's the weight of the material. So if you've got a really lightweight material, it's not going to hold as much as a heavier weight material. So you hear 250 gram GSM to 500 GSM. So I know Bubble Bubs is 500, so that can hold more liquid. So am I getting off the track here?
No, it really is dependent on feed routine, bub, the type of nappy and the type of material you're using as to how much it's going to hold.
Yeah.
As to what you might classify as a heavy wetter, I think. If you have nappies and materials that aren't going to hold very much, you're going to get a sense that your bub is a very heavy wetter when the nappy is absolutely saturated each and every change. Whereas if you were to step it up to a more absorbent nappy, you may find that the bub sleeping through longer, maybe not seeming quite so wet when you change them, and not seeming to be such a heavy wetter. But with regards to the quantities or the volumes of liquid that are outputted, light wetters, Natalie Faye Jenkins has mentioned, commented that she considers her boy a light wetter at 300 to 450 mil a night, and the same in total through the day, and a heavy wetter 600 to 700 mil a night. Honestly, Natalie, I've never seen, and of course Tennille knows far more about this than me, but I have been picking at the edges for a few years now. I've never seen actual quantities listed, only with the Mother Ease bedwetter that Tennille mentioned in 600 mil capacity. So I don't quite know how you go about calculating whether or determining whether you've got a heavy wetter or not. It's going to be your own judgment. It's not going to be a hard and fast formula that you can stick to, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. There's no hard or fast formula. So our Nathan would outwet what we put on him compared to Daniel, compared to Alistair. Trudy had 3 kids who are heavy wetters, and that's because they outwet a really high quality nappy with really great materials. Pop your questions up, guys. This is a really good discussion, and we always get lots of questions from expos and here. And
I think we've maybe explored that one as much as we can until we get some more feedback from people who are watching. What about onto the source question for this from Lisa was about types of nappies, but she named several brands of nappies, but really the big problem seems to be the leg elastics on certain nappies, leaving nasty red marks on babies' legs that last 3 to 4 days. She's tried putting a microfiber liner in between to protect the skin, but it doesn't seem to make any difference. Seems to be the material doesn't make a difference. She's used hemp as well as other baby behinds and itty bitty nappies. Scratch the itty bitty, that doesn't seem to be the problem. Hoping the honey pots, baby bear honey pots will work. So with regards to the
leg elastics.
The leg elastics and nasty marks.
So firstly, I want to make sure it's microfleece you're putting against bub's skin and not microfiber. Microfleece is a polyester. The microfiber will draw moisture away from the skin and it will cause rash. You mentioned the baby Beehinds night nappies. It has been commented that they can do that. I would recommend that it's not done up too tight. You can get 2 fingers under the elastics comfortably, like your own pants. You know, if your pants are up too tight, you get those marks. If the nappy's being out-wetted or that whole area is very, very wet, might need to just tweak what you're doing. The baby bear honey pots, all these names. The elastics are thinner compared. Yeah, I'll get James to get one for you, and everyone can have a look at the different elastics. This is all new, guys, so thanks for your patience. I'll show you the elastics. So the elastics on the honey pots are enclosed, and the elastics can you get me a night nappy from Baby Beehinds? And the Baby Beehinds are sewn into, it's not enclosed, but it's on the inside layers, and it tends to ruffle up more compared to the honey pot. Okay, so you can see it quite visually already. So this is a Baby Beehinds night nappy. Okay, there's the ruffles. You can see the ruffles, okay, and then the elastics are sewn in there. So it would be this here that's causing some of the issues. So if your bub's a little bit really chubby, okay, you got to pull away those rolls and get it right up in the groin. And up in that groin, instead of just the elastic, you've also got this ruffle to go in there as well. That can cause a little bit of discomfort. The honey pots, you can see the difference already. Okay, the elastic's enclosed. That's the only thing that's going in there. There's no excess material. So you can see that quite easily. All right. So honey pot, and I think you mentioned a pool cover and a wool cover. Make sure you lanolise the wool cover. The pool cover, give it a go. Give it a go. If it works, do it. I know there's a question there, dear.
Yeah,
did I answer that question?
Let me chase that up. A question in the meantime from Amy Victoria. Hello, Amy. What do you guys think of fleece covers instead of wool for overnight? She's vegan, so doesn't buy wool currently. Uses POL, but wondering if fleece would be better.
Fleece, yes, fleece will be better than pool because the pool covers are breathable, so they're not waterproof. It's not water resistant, is it? Deal?
I'm sorry?
It's not water resistant. They're not waterproof because they're breathable.
Yes.
So it's not like a disposable.
No.
And there's all those videos on YouTube that show you over a glass, the air, the moisture coming through from hot water.
Yeah.
So if your nappy's saturated, it will leak through the pool cover because they're breathable. And that's what's so awesome about cloth nappies, is that they're breathable and not a plastic bag on your baby's bottom. Fleece covers are awesome as well. They're like your micro fleece. What they do is, this is the nappy. Oh, better, I've got plenty here. Here's your nappy. The fleece goes here and it pushes all the liquid back into the nappy. It doesn't come through. If you get a fleece cover that has 2 zones through the wet zone, 2 layers through the wet zone is even better. And what's the really, really expensive fleece called? Not Malden. Can you look it up? See you there? Malden fleece. Someone's going to pop on and tell me in a minute. It's gone from my mind. There's a fleece that is absolutely superior. Okay, you can use your micro fleece or polar fleece from Spotlight and make some yourself. They're really easy to make. Really simple, but put to...
Malden Mills?
Yep, Malden...
M-A-L-D-E-N, Malden Mills?
Yeah, so that fleece is made to be very water resistant and push all that moisture back in. So yes, Amy, you can use a fleece cover. A lot of parents like them because you don't have to lanolise them and you can just chuck them in the wash. They're like wool covers. You don't have to put them in the wash every single day. Usually 3 or 4 will get you through. Okay, when they start to get whiffy or they get poo on them, then give them a wash. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Back to Lisa's question where you were talking about the nighttime nappies.
Yeah.
Just reading what she's gone through. We've discussed the leg elastics leaving nasty marks, but she mentioned she has a bub who will, at 6 months old, be in the right night nappy for around 12 hours and feed every 4 hours. Have a medium itty bitty night nappy. Uses a pull cover and a wool cover and 3 small boosters, but they leak after 8 to 9 hours.
Bub needs to be changed, especially if he's being fed every 4 hours. Bub will probably need to be changed. He's not quite ready to go the whole 12 hours for a feed. I know that's a real pain in the bottom.
Yeah. What about using a pull cover and a wool cover?
Yeah, that's fine.
I've not heard of that before.
Yeah, so you can use, so usually you can put a, so if you've got your normal, if you've got a night nappy that has a pool layer, I'll use this one for example, okay, this is the seedling baby. You can put a wool cover over the top. It'll just, it's an extra layer of absorbency and to stop all the liquid coming out. Okay, so a lot of parents have a lot of success with that. Yes. Any other questions? This is fun.
I'm frantically scrolling through finding questions.
James is working hard. I've worked hard all day. This is actually a bit of a break for me.
This was a question that lots of people engaged in on the website from Jessie Kylie. After just posting that I don't have any questions, one came to mind. I have a 4-month-old boy, originally had 3 brands of one size fits most nappies, but have virtually destashed most to go with all Baby Bear, so the only ones that last 2 hours on him. Jenny will be very happy at Baby Bear. Problem is, this little fella gets red very quickly after wearing cloth for a day.
Yeah.
His skin's
Amy.
almost broken. Guess he must be irritated by the microfiber. It's my only option to turn the insert over to the bamboo side and leave him feeling wet.
Okay,
There's been lots of responses in there about what microfiber does, but maybe you could just quickly give a response.
Suede cloth, dear. It looks like I need to educate James between microfiber and microfleece. He's usually done the Grow Via stands at expos and knows all about organic cotton.
There's only so much.
Alright, so the Baby Bear nappy, like a lot of nappies, has a suede cloth on the top booster. You'll find it in lots of pockets. I don't think I have a fleece. So the Sealy Baby has a suede. Now the suede can be a little bit, cause a bit of friction on little boys or little girls, and you're not going to know until Bub's here. Okay, so don't worry, you're not going to know, and it all depends whether they're teething, if they had acidic, if they had juice, who knows?
A variety of factors.
A variety of factors, okay? But this can be a little bit more friction on little willies, okay? And the end of little, can I say that word in public? I can. The end of little willies can be a little bit sore. So I've got 3 boys, so I've seen it all. Our 2 boys, especially Alistair, would actually get little blisters. So we would ended up using microfleece. We found that was a softer for him, but a good quality microfleece. So what you can do is with that Baby Bear, okay, is put the bamboo on top. That's fine. It is softer. So if you actually take this finger and you want to test it on your nappy and go like this really hard, you'll feel it get really warm, and you'll see that's what they're feeling. And if you do it on the bamboo, it doesn't get hot, okay, and it's a bit more cushiony.
I'll attest to the comfort.
All right, so you can do that. Now, lots of questions about nappy rash. Nappy rash is it may happen, okay, but most parents, you're going to see it anyway. If your bub's got quite a sore bum, all right, and it's just a nappy rash, there's no lesions, there's nothing yellow about it, there's no major discharge, all right. If you're seeing any of that, go to the GP, go to your doctor, okay. If it's a red, if you can press on it and it goes white and it comes back, that's okay, all right. I will put a disclaimer in. This is information. If you're not sure, go see your doctor. Don't take what I'm going to say as
just from our experience.
From our experience, okay, guys. So Alistair and Nathan would get very sore weebies. So we would put a very thick layer, and Abigail, well, actually, she still does, and it doesn't matter what she wears. Quite a thick layer of cream on their bottom. So smear it and go about 1 to 2 centimeters outside where the nappy rash is, especially on their little bottom. Go outside that, and it's about 1/2 centimeter thick. So if it's quite sore, put 1/2 centimeter. If they do a wee, just dab. Okay, that's fine. If they do a poo, just sort of very gently wipe it off. Try not to hurt them, but then reapply and do that constantly. Nappy free time as well.
We would use those microfleece liners there,
yes,
so that there was no chance of the cream getting on the nappy.
Yes, so you can use your microfleece liners, so it doesn't get on the nappy. Some of the disposable ones are quite porous and can get through. So you can use your microfleece, and you can use your Bananthum and what are the other ones? Sudocrem and all of those. If you got your fleece liner in there, okay. Your fleece liner will most probably be dead. All right, you won't be able to use it again because it's quite a thick layer. That's okay. Even cut up an old blanket or an old dressing gown.
Yeah, microfleece dressing
Yep.
gowns from BW. They were our ticket.
Oh
They
yeah,
were on special.
they're on special at the moment. My boys had nice bright pink stars on theirs. So there's ways around it. Has that answered that question? I saw a few others
If
come
not,
up.
a question will come back,
Yep.
I'm sure. Question from Danielle.
Yep.
Have a new baby bear nappies? I have new baby bear nappies, excuse me, and I'm finding Bubba's got a red bottom from them. They've been soaked and washed once. I've got some that have been washed more and they don't seem to cause a red bottom. Is this normal? Should I just re-wash the inserts a few more times?
So it's probably because they're new and they've only been washed once. So you haven't got all the manufacturing chemicals off them. Okay, so usually we recommend soaking them in a bathtub or your laundry sink overnight. That gets them to about 4 or 5 washes, and then give them a really good wash with your detergent. Yeah, make sure when you're washing them there's enough water. Okay, so don't overstuff your machine, which is really tempting to save time. Okay, when you put the nappies in, just let them fall in really nicely. Just pretend they're doing a little dance and they just fall in. James is looking at it. But that's what I think of when I do my nappies. Okay, just let them just fall in nicely. Don't push them down. You need that room for the water. You need the room for the agitation. If they're too overstuffed, they're not going to agitate together. Do a pre-rinse. If he's got a sore bum from the new ones, that's what I would say it is. They're just not as absorbent at the moment, and you need to get the absorbency levels up. Yep.
Okay. There's no other questions at the moment.
Oh.
So, how about why the Cloth Nappy Doctor? Why Cloth Nappy Doctor?
Oh, that's a bit unfair. I wasn't prepared for that one.
Tell the people why you're Cloth Nappy Doctor.
Oh, why am I a Cloth Nappy Doctor? Well,
why you can lay claim to that title.
See, I'm not really good at talking about myself. Really terrible. Thanks, dear.
You're welcome, hun.
It doesn't help us live. Okay, so my history, hopefully someone would come up with a question quickly. So my history is, I've been using cloth nappies for 11 years. I've been changing quite a few today for Abigail, who's just had a cold. And if you've got a little one, when they get the snots, goes through the other end. So I've been changing nappies for 11 years. At one stage I had all 4 in cloth. That was fun. I've done cloth part-time and full-time and quarter-time and whatever I needed to do to get myself through, because that's what you got to do as a mum. Why the doctor? I started a PhD. I was really excited. 6 months before finishing, my little girl started having seizures, and it took me another 3 years to finish the PhD. Since I finished, I've never actually, oh no, I did use it for about 6 months because I tried to hold down a job with my daughter. Didn't work. And then I went off and tried teaching. That's high school students. Not my cup of tea. Then I tried accountancy. Not quite my cup of tea either. And it was actually while I was doing the accountancy degree, because I chose accountancy because I thought I could set up a home office, work from home, do all the needs that Abigail require and have raised my family. Didn't really enjoy it, but it was while I was doing the accountancy degree that we started the Cloth Nappy Library. And then the rest is history, I suppose I would say. So I do have a PhD. It's in environmental economics. More specifically, my PhD was about the market failure of dryland salinity on Western Australian farms.
It's as dry as it sounds. I had to proofread it.
I enjoyed it. It was fabulous. During that time, Sally, who does our social media, she was doing her PhD at the same time. That's where we met, and we've been friends since. She does work in government at the moment, doing environmental economic stuff, which I'm really envious of. Yes. Does that answer the question, dear?
So you actually have a doctorate?
Yes,
hence,
dear.
And you're in Cloth Nappies, so you're the Cloth Nappy Doctor.
Thanks, dear.
It's all above board. Danielle, just who asked about the red bottoms moments ago, replied with a thank you, Danielle, and that she's been using bamboo disposable liners, so that may contribute or would you recommend using a natural fibre?
With the red bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it could be that it has a little bit of a sensitivity to bamboo. It's really rare, but we do see it quite, not often, but parents who can't. So I'd try a different liner. If you've got any microfleece liners or that you a suede, try that without the liner for maybe 3 days. Depends how old bub is. So if it's a newborn, you could do it for a day because you'd see a rash. Try that. Otherwise, I'd try one of the cornstarch or, can't say the word, dear.
Ingeo.
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 Liners. They're really good. Most parents don't have any issues with those ones. Yes. Jenny's just joined us. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Melissa. I love seeing everyone on here. This is very exciting. That's all right. Yeah. Any other questions?
Well, there's no questions pending.
No.
Come on, people, please. Put you on the spot.
If anyone knows me, it's quite... Oh, we have got
Danielle's
one?
just said, Bub, 6 weeks old, she'll try some options.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. Just give it a couple of days, 6 weeks. So give it 2 days. So let the rash go away first, and then just try different things. Parenthood's all about trying different things and being very, very flexible. You get very good at being flexible. All right.
Nothing more.
Nothing more. Oh, I don't want to say goodbye. We're going to need... I'm trying to think. Is there any other questions that have been pending?
Not at the moment.
No.
Let me just have a look.
I think we answered them all. Jenny have any that she wants me to talk about? Have you got any questions, Jenny, that you've had it come through this week?
Oh, here's Jenny's. Most common question at Baby Bear this week. How to get smells out of nappies.
How to get smells out of nappies. Oh, okay, so if your nappy is a bit whiffy, so there's a couple of, I think there's 3 here. So if it's smelly when you take it off, okay, but it wasn't when you put it on, bub ate something or is teething or is going through a bit of a growth spurt and their wee just reeks. Okay, give it a rinse before you put it in your dry pail and wash 1 to 2 days so that smell doesn't have a chance to really grasp onto those fibres. The other one is if it smells when bub does a wee, what does that smell like? It means you've got residue in your nappies. Okay, so it's reacting. So the wee, got to remember, wee is a bit of a concoction, a bit of a cocktail. So it's reacting with the detergents that are left in your nappies. If that's the case, do an extra pre-rinse or post-rinse and make sure you've got enough water in your actual washing machine and cycle. If the nappies reek when you take them out of the washing machine, which I have happened, we used baby Beehinds when the boys were little. It was particularly around when they were sorry, I'm looking at James, he's looking at me funny.
No, carry on.
Panadol stain removal, I see that, we'll come to that. So if they're just stinky, either you've put them on bub when they're damp, all right, so they haven't had a chance to properly dry. Too much detergent in your washing machine, if they're still whiffy. You need more in your washing machine, make sure there's good agitation and some more water. So even try with those nappies a 60-degree wash, no more than that. More water than you would usually put, so I would do half a load and then make it up to a full load. Scoop of detergent, do an extra rinse cycle. When they come out, give them a whiff. If they're still smelly, do it again. You can take 2 or 3 times. That way you don't have to use any nasty chemicals. That's how I've always done it. Then put them somewhere to dry where there's a breeze. Okay, so it's winter at the moment, so it might be in your laundry in front of a door. If you can find somewhere that's actually a dry part of the house, doesn't necessarily have to be sunny, but is dry, and you can get a breeze, and that should help. That's what I would recommend. Does that sound good, Jenny? Let us know.
If I may, on the the chemicals in nappies. There's been a lot of discussion, not just with the Cloth Nappy Doctor subject, and some people asking about strip washing nappies, but there's lots of different ideas out there. But you advocate what we've used all the way through,
Yep.
which is normal washing detergent, sunshine,
Yep.
and that's pretty much it.
And a good breeze, if you can get one.
And no dramas.
And washing every 1 to 2 days. So if you do leave your nappies 2, 3, 4 days, you will get issues. You will get issues because they are material and what they're sitting in is wee and poo. Nobody likes that. So using cloth nappies does involve some washing, but it's not as hard as what our grandmothers did. So wash every 1 to 2 days and your nappies will last. So we had our baby Beehinds. We had 36 nappies in our stash. This was the olden days, 10 years ago, when you only had a choice of 2 or 3 brands. Your olden days. It's totally different now. So I had 36 nappies and I washed every 1 to 2 days. I washed every day if I could. With new bubs, I washed every second day. And my nappies lasted 7 years. And I made sure there was a good rotation and I rotated them through. And just use the simplest possible. I used washing powders that were the cheapest. I used washing powders that were eco. I used all sorts of washing powders.
We went through soap nuts and all sorts.
We went through all sorts of stuff. And I'm happy to chat about what I had success with and not. But make sure you get a good detergent. One that is designed. And if you're going to do a cold wash, get a cold wash detergent. Make sure you get that because that's going to activate. So all those washing powders are scientifically done to activate in warm water or hot water or cold water and follow those instructions.
Yep.
Yes.
Navigated that minefield. Danielle's asked again about the panadol stain.
Panadol stains. Okay, so panadol stains are caused by sorbitol. Usually it's the Panadol brand. My little Nady's sick at the moment, so it's usually your chemist own. Doesn't have sorbitol in it. Alright, so if you don't want the Panadol stains, have a look at the ingredients and get one without sorbitol in it. That's what causes it. To get them out, sunshine. So depending on what you're happy with, some good sunshine. Some of Abby's nappies have it in there just because Panadol brand was on special. I'm not bothered by it. My nappies are clean. There's just a grey stain.
So the stain doesn't affect the cleanliness?
Nope. No, the stain does not affect the cleanliness. It's just that it's like a tomato sauce stain, I suppose you could say. If you wanted to try and get rid of it, sunshine is your best. You could try a bit of lemon juice. Concoction is usually very good. Yes. So I'd say forget a Panadol that doesn't have the sorbitol. If you're going to use the Panadol with the sorbitol and you don't like the stains, use a disposable. And the stains will show up more, I suppose that's the other thing I should say, on your suede cloth and your microfleece. I don't find they show up as much on cottons, especially organic cotton. That's my experience so far. I'm happy to be told otherwise. Yeah.
That's it, nothing else. It's 7:40. We've been up for 40 minutes.
Oh,
well.
That's pretty good. Okay. Does Jenny have anything she wants to say about washing at all?
Yeah.
She hasn't commented. I can't see any comments.
No. I think it's pretty much wrapped up for now.
Wrapped up. I suppose with the washing, as we sell everyone at expos, keep it simple. The more you overcomplicate it, I would just give up. You don't want to overcomplicate it. So very basically, just wash every 1 to 2 days. Ensure you have enough water, you have agitation, and you have a good detergent. Your detergent, use the full amount. There are some really old myths out there. A lot of brands have finally got up to speed, which is great. Use the full amount. Don't use a quarter or half. That's old school. You don't have to use the detergent that the brand says. unless it's within their warranty. And then you might want to think about actually using that detergent for the warranty period, just so your warranty is intact, and then use whatever you feel is appropriate for your family. Just make sure it's got some power. Some of the eco ones are a little bit, don't have the oomph in them. So I think it's Earthwise. Is it Earthwise? Jenny will comment on that for me. Earthwise, yeah, we have great luck with Try Nature. Some of the really simple ones. James mentioned soap nuts. Yes, we've used soap nuts. You're going to need a little bit more oomph than that. I'm pretty good at washing nappies now for those who are starting out. I wouldn't suggest it for those just starting out. It is a good washer, but if you're just starting out, I suggest something a little bit stronger. Yeah. Trudy, seeing you're here, hello.
She's here, she's sorry she's late, but she agrees that you need the oomph.
Okay, Trudy, what's the most common question we've had this week in the emails?
Okay. Jenny says your comments or your advice is all good.
Oh, good. Oh, when you get the tick off from the brand, life's great. Trudy's coming up.
Trudy.
I should say who Trudy is. So Trudy is our customer service manager. She has used nappies for 10 years as well. Her little one, Asha, just finished night training. So, woohoo. She's finished, so we've all now got a little bit more extra time to give to you guys. We met Trudy in Broome, Kununurra in 2000 we met Trudy and her husband. I'm just waiting for that question to come up, Trudy.
Lots of fitted questions.
Lots of fitted questions. So, yeah, so we met Trudy all the way back then. Trudy used a brand called... Oh, my brain. It's because it's late for me. I'm usually in bed. Oh, no. Can't remember. But she used a lot of fitted. So a lot of fitted questions this week. Fitted nappies are awesome. They're really cool because... And I like them for this as well.
20 and millions.
20 millions what?
20 and millions. Was that the brand? Is that the brand, Trudy?
No, that's not the brand.
Okay.
Oh, it's right there. It's right there.
Okay.
So fitteds are really awesome because the whole nappy is absorbent. The whole thing is absorbent. And then you have a cover to go over the top. Okay, so that's why fitteds are just great for nighttime, great for longer naps. Okay, where you're all in twos, all in two nappies. That's just the absorbency. Okay, but very convenient, and you get some cute prints you can have on the outside. So great for daytime. You can use them for nighttime as well by adding a trifold booster. Yeah. Does that answer the questions, Trudy?
Yes. Right, 20 millions was a reference to, like, I think, the year 2000 and millions of years ago. Anyway, she says a whole nappy for the fitted is absorbent. It's like using two nappies at once, which I think is a great.
Yeah.
Summing up.
And if you have a fitted nappy that has an additional booster in it, that's even fabulous as well. Yeah. Right. Okay, guys, I think we're rounding up now.
45 minutes, good job.
Good job. I think James did a really good job. Really great. I think you should come around and take a bow. If you have any questions, pop them up before we go.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye.